All right, so here's the thing. I want to do a lot of stuff in this video, and I'm going to multitask, which I think I'm going to eat while I'm talking to you. Um, I thought this was a good backdrop, but forget that. Let's get on to the main thing. If you were to pick one word for let's just start with you. If you were to pick one word that represented you, who you feel you are, like what's important to you? And what do you find yourself coming back to all the time? And does it seem to visually match? Like, for example, myself. What is my brand word? I just wrote this down. This is my brand word. I wanted to write it down first. I wanted to write it down like this and then show you after, but I'm going to show you first. So, it's backwards. So what is my brand word? My brand word is family. And the reason why my brand word is family, and that's such a flaky word. Family is, but it truly is my word, because as a very wee little girl, I was abandoned a couple of times. And I felt like I needed to figure that out. And so the Home Vestors brand is actually about family. And I'm a mom. I have been married 37 years. I have 7 children. And we plan on every single one of them. And I did tell you I'm married, and I'm still married, and I've been married for 37 years, and I have 7 children. And by looking at Home Vestors, you might think, that doesn't look like it's about family. In fact, people have told me that. And I can see why they would think that, because as a woman, as a mom in the world that's always had an entrepreneurial spirit from before I met my husband, shortly after I came into this world, and even at my age today at 60, I continue to pursue this dream while still doing this other thing, which is get married, have kids. And let me just say, they don't like me for my choices. Like, a lot of people don't like me for my choices. I know that, like, after I started having kids, a lot of people didn't want to hang out with me anymore. And then the more kids that I had, wow, those dinner invites were all canceled. And so my family actually became the event family. If we were going to have people around, it meant that we were going to have to import them into our home. And so that's when home reached a different ascension for me. And then after my kids were all grown, I went to Indonesia for 2.5 years, and that's how I actually came up with a physical product like you see here today. This chair is the Aurora, and it's comes in natural, and the natural one actually has a cane backing to it. Let me show you this chair. Let's see if I can show you this chair. Okay, so this chair is a native chair, but no, I shouldn't say that it's a native chair. I should not say this is a native chair. What I want to say is that the maker who made this chair was not working in the Home Vestors studio, but did work with Home Vestors on making a quality that was getting on a progressively stronger scale. So I'm pretty sure that this chair was contracted for anthropology. And because of the research that I've done and living in Indonesia, I actually work with a lot of the makers that make for these big companies, and I get to see behind the scenes, you guys. And I kind of know how it works on both sides, so like for the Indonesian, and then for me and for you as the buyer. Anyway, I like this chair a lot. It has a woven seat. Do you see the seat? Ah, that's a beautiful seat. And one of the reasons why furniture was so important to me is because I had so many people coming and going in my house. And with 7 kids, man, I wanted my house to be happening. I wanted my house to be the fun house, the party house. And it was. Wow. I mean, if there's any of you guys out there watching that have been to my house or been to a party at my house, then give me a shout out, because I feel like, those are some of the foundational stones that were being built in my spirit, in my soul, for Homevestors. And I was so wanting to make it a visually tangible thing. And damn it, those 7 kids were constantly unraveling everything that I was doing. So in some ways I can kind of understand why they're not really into what I've been building, because it actually involved it's involved a strong discipline on my part, not only to get married and, just decide to have 7 kids. Look at that. Friggin', that is what you called wild hair. Okay. All right. So anyway, let's see if we can fix that. Where were we? Yeah, so I can understand why my kids just bailed on this, because it turned out to be a lot of work for them. And it also turned out that I was gone. Actually gone for 2.5 years. So now my life feels like a fucking rodeo. Woo! And I feel like I'm on a horse that wants to bolt. So, how are you feeling? And what kind of business are you getting going? Because here's what I've got. I've got chairs to sell, but I've also, sorry, I'm looking at my ponytail. I'm not looking at you. Let me look at you. Let me talk to you. Come and talk to me. Come here. Anyway, here's what I've got. I've got 300 amazing Peacock chairs ready for this spring. And if you are a small business owner and you want to have Peacock chairs in your spring lineup, which is a fabulous idea if you have the customer for it. If you don't have the customer for it, it's a no. Because it's very disheartening for people who don't understand how to value certain, let's put it into flavors. We just don't give somebody peas if they don't like peas. We don't, and if they're a corn person, you give them corn. Anyway, that's a bad analogy. But I have 300 plus Peacock chairs, brand new, packaged, wrapped. And then the other idea is for all the event companies, I'm your wild card. Do you see? I am your wild card. And what that means is you can plan an event with my chairs and we can make a deal on this. And you can get a commission, or let's work it. I have the chairs, you have the client. Let's see what we can make happen. 300 Peacock chairs at an event